Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including a faked Tesla battery fire, Giga Texas stockpiling battery packs, Tesla's Canada factory, a big Model Y and 3 design change on the way, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, the Tesla Model Y has been increasingly growing in popularity, and it's the vehicle Tesla is most focused on scaling. This week, Tesla's lead times for the Model Y have improved drastically since just a few months ago. A few months ago, an estimated delivery would be sometimes over a year. In any case, if you configure a base Model Y with stock Gemini wheels today, the estimated delivery is December 2022 to April 2023. For the first time in a while, this is the same lead time as it is if you switch to the upgraded $2,000 induction wheels. If you instead upgrade to a Model Y Performance, that delivery is estimated as early as this month or next month. Paint colors, wheel changes, interior color, or seat configuration actually make no difference for the estimated delivery that Tesla quotes on their online configurator. Now, it's unclear exactly why this is happening, but it could have to do with increased long-range Model Y capacity at Giga Texas. Others think it may have to do with the tax credit being introduced and more people opting to wait to order a Model Y until they are sure that they will qualify for the full $7,500 tax credit in 2023. Based on most assumptions, the Model Y should qualify come January 1st of 2023, so that's a substantial savings that is extremely hard to plan with Tesla's unpredictable delivery timelines. In any case, the latest update for my personal Model Y, which is a base model, white exterior, Gemini wheels, and white seats, is September 14th to September 28th. That's the smallest window I've seen, but I'm fully ready for that to be pushed back yet again. We'll have to see what happens. Next up today, over at Giga Texas, where Tesla is now focused on the 2170 Model Y, drone photos have spotted stacks of structural battery packs. The structural battery pack with 4680 cells is the latest tech that Tesla plans to ship on the Model Y, but it has seen significant delays. They've only delivered a small handful of Model Ys with this new tech made in-house. As we can see in these images, Tesla is stacking up a significant number of structural battery packs. These are clearly structural packs because you can see the mounting system for the seats that is exclusive to these packs. As you can see in these photos, there are easily over 50 packs in sight in these photos, lots of empty stackers, and likely many more stacked outside of view. The real question is why Tesla is stacking these up. In the same video, we can see a ton of Model Ys being produced and driving out of the factory, but many think that those are only utilizing 2170 cells, the same as Tesla ships the Model Y everywhere else. The limited supply of 4680 cells from Tesla's pilot plant in Fremont could be at play here, and maybe Tesla is waiting until those become readily available before they add back 4680 production again. I think that Tesla committed to this tech a bit early and instead is focused on fulfilling demand using the batteries that they have been using for a few years now. As they ramp up Giga Texas further, fix potential issues with 4680 structural pack production, and start battery production at Giga Texas itself, they will have enough packs to produce these vehicles once again. They may even add a new standard range configuration in the US at that point if they can meet demand. Over at Giga Texas, Tesla is working on their Cathode factory. As part of a drone flyover, we can see that the building for this factory is coming together, and this is very impressive since we only first heard about this project in February of this year. This is a smaller building than the main factory building, but it is 3 stories tall and being made exclusively to produce battery cathodes. Back in 2020, Tesla's senior vice president of engineering said, "We're going to go and start building our own cathode facility in North America and leveraging all of the North American resources that exist for nickel and lithium, and just doing that, just localizing our cathode supply chain and production, we can reduce miles traveled by all the materials that end up in the cathode by 80%. That's exactly what Tesla is doing here so that in the future they can build part of their battery supply completely in-house right next to the factory building the car that it'll go in. As I reported a couple of videos ago as well, Tesla will be using suppliers, and Panasonic is potentially building their own 4680 factories in Oklahoma and Kansas to supply Giga Texas as well. The more battery cells, the better for Tesla. The progress on this cathode facility is a new big move for Tesla, and this will take some time to implement and be operational. However, once Tesla gets production underway, they are expected to open many cathode and battery factories around the world. Next up today, an extremely interesting story about a Tesla battery fire. Many people wrongly assume that electric vehicles catch on fire easier than other vehicles. Tesla regularly reports vehicle fire data, and their updated 2021 report says, quote, "From 2012 to 2021, there has been approximately 1 Tesla vehicle fire for every 210 million miles traveled. By comparison, data from the National Fire Protection Association and U.S. Department of Transportation Transportation shows that in the United States, there is a vehicle fire for every 19 million miles traveled. Here's a visualization of what that looks like. Teslas travel that much further, and they're about 11 times less likely to catch on fire according to the data. And this number reducing further in the future is of course the ideal, but the story is already the opposite of what many seem to believe. Visualized in another way, here are the number of fire events per billion miles traveled from 2012 to 2021. Anytime there's a Tesla fire, it's huge in the news, and AXA Insurance demonstrated a crash test in an older Model S. In their crash test, they flipped the vehicle and it caught on fire. It was a 6-year-old Model S, and here is what their released test video shows. The car flips onto its roof, stays there for a bit, and then it spontaneously combusts. The point of their demonstration was to showcase their reports that claim electric vehicles cause more collisions with damage. Quote, "A look at the AXA statistics shows that drivers of electric cars cause 50% more collisions with damage to their own vehicles than those of conventional combustion engines." That was the report that they are trying to prove here. In any case, it has now been found out that this entire test was faked. 24 Auto confirmed this, saying, "The alleged crash test by AXA Insurance is increasingly turning out to be a show event without any real gain in knowledge." As the company admitted at the request of 24auto.de, there were no batteries in the tested vehicles. According to the press office, quote, "Demonstrating a battery fire would have been too dangerous due to the guests present, which is why the battery cells of the electric cars were removed before the tests." With the same reasoning, the insurance company had also ignited the fire of a tested Tesla Model S with pyrotechnics itself. So not only did this car not have batteries inside so it couldn't drive and flipped easier, but it was purposely set on fire. When you watch the video, it's pretty obvious. Additionally, it was easier to flip the car without the low center of gravity that makes these cars have lower rollover risk, which is a big factor. 24 Auto said the crash behavior may have changed due to the removal of the batteries, which has an influence on the stiffness and weight. So every part of this test is completely fabricated. This photo that went around for some time with people using it as proof that Teslas catch fire easier than gasoline vehicles was flipped without a battery inside and then set on fire. Now AXA has somewhat apologized. They said, translated, "We regret that the 2022 edition of the crash tests may have conveyed a bad impression of electromobility or created misunderstandings about it. We are convinced that the switch to electric will play a central role in the future of automobile traffic. This is why we believe it is important to take a close look at electromobility and the safety it offers." Essentially, they didn't apologize for much and instead somewhat defended their testing of a 6-year-old EV without batteries that was set on fire. In their press release, they do say that EVs are, quote, "no more prone to fire than conventional combustion vehicles. Nevertheless, we must recognize that the published images give a different impression when taken out of context." The videos and photos they post were ripe for misinformation and will likely continue to spread around even though it was fabricated. In the future, hopefully companies doing any testing like this will be much clearer. Many feel that they did it on purpose though and are only apologizing because they were caught. But what are your thoughts? Leave a comment below to let me know. Next up today, Tesla is rumored to be making a big change to the Model 3 and Y. When Tesla relaunched the Model S and X in 2021, they went with a completely different steering wheel. First, it was a yoke instead of a round wheel, and second, they got rid of stalks entirely. Instead, you enable autopilot with the right scroll wheel, shift into drive, reverse, and park on screen, or use auto shift out of park, and use touch-sensitive buttons for blinkers, lights, the horn, and more. This simplified the look of the interior of these cars, and after using it for some time, it has actually been pretty good in my experience. The horn needs to change to a normal button, but the blinker buttons are easy to get used to, and I like the clean look. Many aren't the biggest fan of this though, and have been happy that Tesla kept the Model 3 and Y as normal round wheels and stalks. However, a new rumor is saying that Tesla will be removing stalks in these cars in 2023. Tesla released new photos of the Semi this last week, and inside we can see it has a normal round wheel, but uses no stalks. Instead, there are touch buttons just like the Model S and X. When posting this photo, Chris Zhang, a reliable Tesla source, said the 2023 Model 3/Y will also remove the left and right paddles, sliding gear shift, and touch turn signals. Drive Tesla reached out to their sources for confirmation and said that Tesla is indeed planning to make this switch. Quote, "Unfortunately, we were not given a timeline, only that it will take place after a current supplier contract ends." This is typically how Tesla makes changes, so this will definitely be something we report on in the near future. Tesla will make this change suddenly, and there will likely be hardly any way to know if your car will come with this change until it is confirmed to be in full production. We usually find out for sure after the first customer delivery with the feature is confirmed. This isn't too surprising given Tesla's love of simplicity and the way the Model S and X have worked in practice. Additionally, back in July, Elon Musk said, quote, "You don't even need to touch the shifter in new S. Auto detect direction will come as an optional setting to all cars with FSD. That means Tesla has already planned to bring this feature to the Model 3 and Y, but now they would make it a standard feature instead of something with FSD. They even have a patent from 2020 with a new steering wheel using haptic feedback, and this patent image shows the screen of a Model 3 and Y. Everything Tesla does is for manufacturing efficiency, and this move could mean that they no longer even need to source stocks around the wheel for any of their vehicles. I'd be all for this move from a design perspective, and with my upcoming Model Y set to be delivered this month according to Tesla, I really wish it would have this. However, I doubt it will come right away. I'm really curious how others feel though. The Model 3 and Y are already an adjustment for many with the single center screen and lack of buttons, and this would move even further in that direction by putting blinkers on the wheel and shifting on screen. How would you feel about this change though? Leave a comment below to let me know. Next up today, at the same time Tesla is looking to make this change, it is being reported that Tesla is facing unprecedented demand. A Wall Street analyst from New Street Research named Pierre Ferragu visited Giga Berlin and said Tesla is facing unprecedented demand. Everybody I know at Tesla and with whom I could discuss that topic agrees that demand is way above what hopes were a few years ago. Electric cars are so popular that for Tesla and their competitors, market shares will mostly be dictated by their ability to ramp volumes. Ultimately, that's a big part of Tesla's success right now. I think they have a product that I enjoy more than other EVs, but for some people, they want to go with a more established brand for one reason or another. However, Tesla keeps selling more than any other company, in large part because they are manufacturing more than any other company for electric vehicles. Of course, there are other factors, but it's pretty crazy to hear the Tesla demand story end up flipped on its head. Tesla has a demand problem, but in that they have to do everything possible to ramp up new factories to catch up to it. They've also had to eliminate certain options for cars and stop orders for cars like the Model 3 long range in North America because backlogs are so high. Regarding the Berlin factory, this analyst said, quote, "Compared to Fremont, Berlin is visibly much more efficient. Logistics inside the factory are much simpler, eased by docks surrounding the fab from all sides and ensuring parts come in at the right place in the manufacturing chain." Elon Musk recently tweeted about Giga Berlin saying, "Spent the day walking entire Giga Berlin production line, team is doing excellent work." Tesla is continually optimizing their manufacturing capabilities with each factory that they make, and their next one very well could be coming in Canada. 3 reports this week are showing big moves in Canada from Tesla. They recently visited a graphite mine and processing factory in Quebec. The same company is also working on a large anode facility, which could definitely be of interest for Tesla. Also, regarding their graphite, the company, quote, claims that it can produce a 99.95% pure spheric graphite product that will be cheaper and cleaner than synthetic graphite from Asia. At the same time, after already disclosing lobbying efforts in Canada for a factory, Tesla has been scouting factory sites in both Quebec and Ontario. Quote, multiple sources with knowledge of the matter but not authorized to speak told Electric Autonomy that earlier this month, high-level Tesla employees visited Vail Canada operations in Sudbury, Ontario, just ahead of the Mercedes-Volkswagen announcements. That trip, sources say, was part of a larger location scouting mission by Tesla in Ontario and Quebec to seek out potential manufacturing locations. Just yesterday as well, it was reported that Tesla is looking to hire high-volume recruiters to operate in Quebec. Elon hinted at Tesla putting a factory in Canada, and now lots of rumors are coming together pointing towards Quebec being where Tesla is most interested. Tesla posted a job listing for this recruiter located in Montreal, Quebec, and the listing says Tesla is looking for a high-volume, an extraordinary recruiter that stands out by doing all of the above, combined with strong business acumen, a passion for their craft, and a genuine commitment to providing an unforgettable candidate experience. Tesla referenced high volume in job listings when recruiting early positions at Giga Berlin and Texas, so many see this as a sign that Tesla's next Gigafactory will indeed be located in Quebec. They will need a lot of positions quickly filled if they plan to move forward with this, so this is a great sign for that. Next up today, Tesla's virtual power plant beta program ran a second test. This is a new program that they are testing in California, which brings together thousands of Tesla Powerwall owners and allows them to send energy back to the grid when necessary. Sawyer Merritt posted about it, saying, Tesla's second ever California virtual power plant beta event just ended with great success. Over 3,500 homes with Tesla Powerwalls were selling and pushing up to 24 megawatts of power back to the grid at any given time to reduce stress. A graph of this shows that the virtual power plant has already grown significantly, up to a capacity of 50 megawatts. Around 400 Powerwalls are being added to the network each week throughout California. Many owners are reporting reporting earnings anywhere from $30 to $40 for the short event, and this is just the beginning of something that could be huge in the future. California is dealing with blackouts each summer, and lots of energy will continue being required during peak times of the year like this. This virtual power plant is something that will be able to help out significantly during peak hours, and I think it will be very important in the years to come. It's something any California Powerwall owner should be able to join, and their excess storage energy can be sold back to the grid when needed. Last up today, a Rivian R1S Launch Edition has popped up on Cars and Bids this week. Rivian just began first deliveries of this car with only a couple, so this is definitely going to go for a pretty penny. It's already at $121,000 as I'm filming this, and I'm curious to see where it ends up. Also curious how it is already for resale with so few deliveries. Either way, this listing is exciting because there are 156 total photos, and we get to see a lot of specifics that we have yet to see on this car, like what it looks like in the third row and all the features included back there and in the trunk. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see why I'm buying a Rivian R1T, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.